Hey everybody, how's it going? Hope you're having a lovely day. Welcome to today's episode of How You're Getting Fucked. I'm your host, Louis Rossman. Today we're going to talk about making people woke to the idea that you don't own what you bought and paid for. Because there's no better way to wake people up and get them to be woke about not owning what they bought and paid for than when they have a bed that literally tries to burn them at 110 degrees because it was not able to connect to the AWS web server. And it wakes them up and doesn't allow them to go back to sleep. That's woke. So take a look at this. This is an article from CNET. Owners of luxury smart beds literally lost sleep due to an AWS outage. So this is a smart bed that has to connect to the internet in order to work. Our engineers are shipping backup mode as of yesterday, a transparent automatic fallback that lets the 8 Sleep app speak directly to your pod over Bluetooth when cloud infrastructure is unavailable. So this is a bed that allows you to adjust the temperature, it allows you to adjust the positioning, and sometimes this stuff can be useful. I'm not going to knock it. It may be cheaper for you to have the bed cool you than to have the air conditioner on in your room all night or your house all night, especially if you have central air and you don't have a split system. Further, it may be nice to have a little bit of an incline now and then. I tried getting one of these smart beds because I liked having the massage feature and being able to move it around and everything. I figured maybe it'll help me sleep. It didn't. I still look like shit. But the point being, I'm not going to knock the idea of it. What I will knock is the laziness of this manufacturer and the way they put this together. This bed is put together so that it has to connect to the internet in order for any of these functions to work. You want to change the temperature? Got to connect to the internet. You want to change the incline of it? Got to connect to the internet. I have a smart bed in my house, and it comes with something called a remote, which you can actually see a 1-hour live stream of me fixing on my channel after I accidentally put it through the laundry. This is a remote that they included in the box. It was not an extra purchase because when you spend over $1,000 or $2,000 on a fucking bed that has this feature, you would think that they would just give you the remote. That was a cringy solder blob over there anyway, a little bit out of practice. But yeah, I was fixing this thing. This is a remote, and there's absolutely no excuse for a product that costs almost $3,000 to not include a remote in the box. The only reason that they do this is because by putting together some bullshit little app and some bullshit cloud system like this, it's less work for them. It's less money for them to spend. And I want you to think about that. When you got woken up at 1:45 or 2 o'clock in the morning by a bed that was trying to light you on fire, I want you to realize the reason you were stuck like that is because the manufacturer wanted to save a couple of pennies here. They didn't feel like hiring an engineer. They wanted to do it the cheap way. And because they decided to do it the cheap way, you got screwed. There's no better way to make people woke than literally burn them at 1 in the morning while they're sleeping. Because when your bed goes to 110 degrees while you're trying to sleep, that's one way to get people to wake up. There's no excuse for this. And the thing that I want to go over here is that there's this argument going on in the comments that I don't think is appropriate, where people are saying that if you bought a smart bed, you're a moron, you're an idiot. And then there's people that are defending it, saying, I love my smart bed. So there are comments like this. Haha, I love all the derision. I get it. It's an easy target. I have an 8 Sleep and I wouldn't want to live without it. It can be quite hot where I live at night, and the cooling mattress cover allows me to sleep comfortably. Underneath covers even on nights when I'd otherwise kick all the covers off and still be cooking. I don't have AC, unlike some of the people that would accuse me of being too fancy, so I not only save money, but it's also much more efficient than the cooling the house would be. My wife and I love it, and she could set the temperature for her side that she prefers. If you want to take it away from me, you'll have to pry it out of my cool, comfortably fast asleep hands. And the problem here is that the argument is this is not the argument that people should be having. It shouldn't be whether you're an idiot for buying this or no, I like my device, screw you. The argument should be both of you. The people that think that this is stupid and the people that love the product should both be mad at the company, because there's absolutely no fucking reason to design it like this other than saving money and screwing you over. Getting it to market a couple of weeks faster by virtue of not designing a remote. It does not take a crazy amount of extra effort. It does take extra effort, but not a crazy amount to ship something called a remote with your product. This is what you ship with your product if you have some respect for your customer and you're charging this much. It's not hard. There are a lot of devices, a lot of beds, even before they connected to the internet, that had this weird massaging functionality and the inclines and the declines that gave you a remote. Remote controls do not cost a lot of money. If you are creating a product like this that has a real tangible effect on somebody's life in any way, shape, or form in your house, something that moves around, you should be able to control that product without having to connect it to the fucking internet. There's no problem with having a product that connects to the internet, but there is a big problem with not having freedom. There's no problem with having a smart bed. I'm not going to shit on you for having a smart bed, and I don't like that in the comments section. It turns into this war of what kind of moron buys a bed that connects to the internet? The problem is not the bed connecting to the internet. The problem is the bed only working with internet connection. I don't think the problem is the customer that decided to buy this. I think the problem is the company that sold it without the local option. And I think that it's very, very important to avoid coming out with these nonsensical cultural wars, that we put the burden of responsibility and accountability where it belongs. The company for fucking over its users. Because if you may get your quick dopamine hit right now, if you make fun of your neighbor that got a smart bed that had to figure, go under and unplug it, or figure out how to put the motor in neutral or some shit to get it back to where it was lying down so that they could sleep properly, you can laugh at them all you want. At the end of the day, that person is not going to like you because they're going to remember how you made them feel. And when something similar happens to you, and it will, they're not going to be there to support you. And then you're both going to get screwed by these companies together. Whereas if you band together, then you might actually have a chance of pushing back against these things in an organized way. You care when they get screwed, they're going to care when you get screwed. You put the onus where it belongs. The people that decided we're going to save a couple of cents here or a couple of dollars there by fucking over all our customers. We care more about our quarterly returns than we do about people getting a good night's sleep. We care more about pushing product out as fast as possible than we do about having any fucking degree of common sense quality control. Because that's what happened here. The company screwed over the users. And the amount of people that are fighting with each other in comment sections over this, you're an idiot for buying this. Oh, you're a pleb for not knowing how comfortable this could be. You're having the wrong argument. It's not even the smart bed that's the problem. It's the fact that they didn't ship the thing with a fucking remote. Please, keep the focus where it belongs. Stop fighting with your neighbor. Start fighting the people who are fucking you. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. That's it for today. And as always, I hope you learned something. Dumb bed, smart bed, floor, hotel bed. I don't get to sleep anywhere I go. I'll have to work on that. I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.
We also have the duty not to infringe the IP rights in the process. It is in fact the manufacturers who have the relevant rights, not consumers.